Hi, I'm Mike Walther, here with your 2024 IRA distribution rules. The IRA distribution rules have changed several times over the past several years, so we want to make sure that you're familiar with what the current rules are for new IRA distributions. In 2024, no distributions are required by the original IRA or retirement account owner prior to age 73. The maximum age for waiting to take your first IRA distribution was lengthened from 70.5 to 73. So from the year in which you turn 73 through the year in which you die, you must take what is known as the required minimum distribution, or RMD for short. Now you can always take more money than that, but you're required to take out at least as much as the government calculates your RMD to be. And so the RMD is going to be recalculated annually, and it's based on both your life expectancy and the balance of your account as of the last day of the prior year. Now, to make it more challenging, there are several different life expectancy tables that could apply depending on who the beneficiaries of your IRA are. When the account owner dies, if he or she was married and names his or her spouse as the beneficiary, there'll be a tax-free spousal rollover of the account balance into either a new IRA account for the spouse, or the amount can be rolled directly into the spouse's pre-existing IRA account. If the deceased spouse was required to take an RMD in the year in which they died and did not do so, the surviving spouse must distribute that amount by the end of the year. In subsequent years, no additional IRA distributions are required until the surviving spouse who inherited the account reaches 73 himself or herself. If the deceased spouse was younger than 73, again, no RMDs are required except for the one in that year the person passed away who owned the IRA originally. For inherited IRAs that are inherited by someone other than the decedent spouse, the rules are a little bit different. In the year that a person dies, if they've already taken the required distribution for the year, no other distributions are required by the family members who inherit the IRA account. If the original owner who passed away during the year has not taken his or her RMD for the year, then the beneficiaries who are receiving the account, if they're not the spouse, must take out their pro rata share of that RMD. For example, if two siblings each inherited 50% from a mother's IRA account, each of the siblings must take half of what the mother was required to take out that year, but did not before she passed away. Those are the only required distributions for that calendar year. In the following year, the inherited IRA beneficiaries are required to take out 1/10 of the amount that was in their inherited IRA as of December 31st of the year in which that person died. In subsequent years, you would simply drop the denominator by 1 and take out 1/9, then 1/8, etc., until the 10th year in which you must fully deplete the balance in the inherited IRA account. Now, for a Roth IRA, there's even different rules. The inherited IRA distribution rules are still going to apply to some degree. The original Roth IRA owner has no required distributions during their lifetime. The same is true if there's a spousal rollover. The spouse becomes the owner of that IRA, and he or her has no required distributions during their lifetime. However, once it's inherited by someone other than a spouse, the same 10-year distribution rules apply as if it was a traditional IRA account not benefiting from the Roth IRA rules. However, unlike a traditional IRA account, the required Roth IRA distributions are not taxable to the beneficiary. One final thing worth noting is if a special needs trust for the benefit of an individual with a disability inherits an IRA account, in most cases, the trust can stretch the IRA distributions over the disabled person's life expectancy. The trust is not required to fully deplete the inherited IRA over a 10-year period. Thus, naming a special needs trust is often a beneficial thing to do if you want to have the IRA last a longer period of time for your loved one with a disability. And as a final reminder, the failure to take the required distribution in a given year can lead to penalties of up to 25% of the amount that was required to be distributed. Now, if all these rules seem complicated, don't worry. We understand them and are happy to help you avoid the penalties and distribution mistakes. Feel free to reach out to us at your convenience. Thanks.